She's been subpoenaed. She's really furious about it. But anyways, today the Daily Mail did a story saying that Taylor Swift believes Blake Lively exploited her, that she's been lying, that she did actually have more involvement that she is putting out there.
Taylor Swift officially ends Blake Lively's career end-to-end after exposing her lies, backstabbing, and courtroom-level manipulation with undeniable evidence and silent power moves that shook Hollywood to its core.
That she was using Taylor Swift to pretend that she was more involved than she was to make more people go and watch the movie because Taylor Swift has so many.
Getting subpoenaed because of Blake's mess was the last straw. Swift's team went full scorched earth, no PR gloss, no bestie loyalty left. And really, why should Taylor protect someone who dragged her name into a legal circus she had nothing to do with? We all know someone who has a bad habit of ignoring every warning sign like it's a fashion trend. And in this case, that someone was Taylor Swift.
Some of her spokesperson for Taylor Swift came out and attacked Justin Baldoni's team, said really nasty things about them, which I thought was very unnecessary. But anyways, today the Daily Mail did a story saying that Taylor Swift believes Blake Lively exploited her.
From Selena Gomez to Kim Kardashian, even Billie Eilish, everyone reportedly warned her not to get involved in Blake Lively's behind-the-scenes mess. But Taylor, in all her sparkly trust fund glory, thought she was helping a friend, a mistake that's now slapping her with a subpoena and slamming the final nail in Blake Lively's glittery little Hollywood coffin.
Heartbroken singer finally lays bare former bestie's betrayal and the move that left her completely floored.
Let's not forget, Blake and Taylor weren't just brunch buddies. These two were everywhere. Red carpet selfies, joint holidays, matching baby gifts, even rumors that Taylor was godmother to Blake's kids. Some say 1, some say 3. Blake can't even keep that story straight. But then, right when Taylor was off breaking records with her Eras Tour and minding her multi-billion-dollar empire, Blake decided to casually drag her into the legal firestorm of Asterisk. It ends with this asterisk like it was no big deal. She didn't even hesitate.
And the other scenario is that Blake Lively has been lying about Taylor Swift's involvement to get more people to come and watch the movie.
She just threw her bestie straight into the deep end of a lawsuit against Justin Baldoni, all to make her own shaky claims look a little less ridiculous. And how did she do it? By name-dropping Taylor like a red carpet accessory and unbelievably comparing her to a dragon. Yep, you read that right.
So what really annoyed Taylor Swift here is that she was compared to one of her dragons. Apparently that's what Daily Mail is reporting on here, that she called Swift one of her dragons and used her power to get Baldoni's approval of that one scene.
In one of the now infamous text messages Blake sent to Baldoni, she literally wrote, "I'm Kesey and I have a few dragons," adding that her dragons protect the people she fights for, and Taylor Swift was one of them. Like Taylor was some kind of fire-breathing, platinum-selling, subpoena-worthy guard dog.
I mean, honestly, she was with me on this experience the whole time, all throughout it. So, like, she really lived this with me. Yeah, she was, she's a person who shows up for you, and I'm so grateful to have that love.
And while it might have sounded like a fun flex for Blake at the time, this fantasy roleplay absolutely detonated in real life. Because when Baldoni's lawyer, the extremely strategic Brian Friedman, caught wind of this Game of Thrones reference, he did what any good lawyer would do. He subpoenaed the dragons.
So this is a lose-lose situation basically for Taylor Swift. Either she has to say that her friend is lying, that she wasn't involved, or she has to admit that she was more involved than she has admitted so far. That means that she's been lying.
Now, Taylor Swift is not just a pop star, she's a witness. Because if you name drop your celebrity friends in a legal complaint to boost your image and intimidate the opposing party, guess what? Those same friends are now part of the evidence. Taylor didn't even see this coming.
So Taylor and Blake are neighbors in Tribeca, and Swift, it says here that she's the godmother of 3 of her daughters. I don't know, there's so many things back and forth if she's only godmother of 1, but here it says 3.
She wasn't at the production meetings, she wasn't involved in casting, and she didn't touch the script. She was literally touring across continents, selling out stadiums, but Blake thought it would be brilliant PR to use her anyway. A very public, very dumb miscalculation.
All of this is strategy. Remember, every time you see a picture of her, that's been planned. By the way, I really hate that bag. I'm sorry.
And when Taylor's team finally responded, they didn't just deny it, they nuked the entire fantasy. Her spokesperson told Taffin's Keezy in very clear terms that Taylor never stepped foot on set, had no input on casting, never reviewed the film, and only licensed a song, My Tears Ricochet, along with 19 other artists. That's it. No creative control, no hidden influence, no Keezy nonsense. And just like that, Blake's story collapsed in on itself like a botched facelift.
In his complaint, Justin talked about how Blake wanted to have more and more control over the movie It Ends With Us, and how when it came to the rooftop scene, Blake had written her own version of it and then showed it to him for review. And at a meeting at her penthouse she lives in with her husband Ryan Reynolds, Ryan was praising Blake's work apparently, and allegedly Taylor Swift was there too.
Because what Blake did was more than just name-dropping. She tried to weaponize one of the most powerful celebrities in the world as a legal shield. She made it look like Taylor co-signed everything. The rewrites, the confrontation with Baldoni, even the casting of Isabella Ferrer. It was a calculated move to use Taylor's star power to validate her shaky claims and deflect attention from her own actions.
Is this going to affect her friendship with Blake? Was Taylor aware she was being cited like this? Did she actually read a script, or was her name being used without realizing it? And then more recently, people noticed something that totally added fuel to the fire. Travis Kelce, yes, Taylor Swift's boyfriend, unfollowed Ryan Reynolds on Instagram.
But now Taylor's denying it all, and you know what that means. Either Taylor Swift is lying publicly, which seems pretty unlikely given her PR discipline, or Blake lively lied to the court and the public just to prop up her weak harassment case. And honestly, which one sounds more on brand?
See, my husband Ryan Reynolds and my best friend Taylor Swift think that what I wrote was great, so. And later, when they were texting, this was a big quote that had gone around, but he had included in his complaint these messages from Blake, and one said, "If you ever get around to watching Game of Thrones, you'll appreciate that I'm Khaleesi, and like her, I happen to have a few dragons. For better or worse, but usually for better, because my dragons also protect those I fight for. So really, we all benefit from those gorgeous monsters of mine. You will too, I can promise."
And let's not forget, this all stems from a rooftop scene that Blake decided to rewrite on her own. She handed it over like it was award-worthy prose, and when Baldoni politely said they'd probably merge her draft with the original, Blake lost it. She started ranting about how her work had never been respected, how people always steal her credit, and then suddenly, her husband Ryan Reynolds and her dragon, Taylor Swift, are in the room during a meeting.
And apparently she was saying that she loved what Blake wrote. Now, the thing is, according to the complaint, Justin had originally told Blake what she wrote was good and the final version would probably be a blend of what originally was written and what she had written, which she took offense to and went on a whole rant about her past experiences working on projects where her work was not seen the way that she wanted it to be, or she wasn't credited the way that she wanted to be.
The confrontation came to a head at a meeting inside Blake's Tribeca penthouse. Not a phone call, not a Zoom, an in-person meeting at the home she shares with Ryan Reynolds, who, by the way, was very much present and very much vocal.
And Justin, in talking about, Ryan and Taylor being present, it seemed he was trying to say in his complaint that he felt that she was using her A-list connections and the people close to her in her life as this sort of pressure on Justin.
According to Justin's legal complaint filed in January 2024, Ryan didn't just sit in quietly. He praised Blake's script like it was Oscar bait, allegedly saying it was powerful and moving, and that it should be the version used in the final cut. And here's where it gets murky. Taylor Swift was reportedly in that room too.
But according to people last month, they claimed that her and Blake were able to work things out. They wrote, Lively 37 referred to the pop star 35 as one of her dragons in an alleged text exchange, according to a complaint Baldoni filed in January.
Multiple legal filings, including declarations from Baldwin's legal team, indicate that Taylor was present during this meeting and backed Blake's version of the scene. Now, whether Taylor was casually nodding along or handing out notes with a red pen is unclear, but her alleged approval is now part of the record. More importantly, her presence, even unspoken, transformed this from a simple disagreement into a power play.
Blake knew she and Taylor would come back from this at some point, and that their friendship wasn't done for good, the insider says to the legal difficulties. Taylor was really hurt by this situation, so she's relieved they were able to recover from this and put it all behind them because it wasn't something she took lightly, they added.
Justin reportedly felt blindsided. He stated that he never agreed to scrap the original scene, but rather suggested they explore a blend between the studio-approved script and Blake's draft. That's when things spiraled. Blake allegedly launched into a tirade about her past experiences in Hollywood, how her work never got the respect it deserved, and how she was always sidelined by male creatives.
Ryan Friedman continued, Blake was the one who brought her high-profile friends into the situation without concern for their own personal or public backlash. As the truth shows, she used her dragons to manipulate Justin at every turn.
And in the middle of this monologue, Ryan was still backing her point, reportedly berating Baldoni in front of everyone. According to a senior Sony Pictures executive, whose identity has been redacted in public court docs but confirmed in private, the exchange was unlike anything they had seen before. The XX stated they had never seen someone get talked down to like that in a professional setting. And here's the problem. Blake wasn't just emotionally venting.
And it's not this deep thing that Taylor Swift had this big hand in it and with us. Otherwise, you bet your bottom dollar she would have been credited way more in the credits, because Taylor loves some credit.
She was strategically placing powerful witnesses in the room. This wasn't an off-the-record meltdown. This was a setup. Taylor Swift's very presence, now legally documented and weaponized by Baldwin's legal team, became part of the core evidence.
Testifying in court, giving a sworn deposition, or providing relevant documents. While it's not guaranteed she'll have to appear at trial, there's a possibility if her testimony is deemed important.
Whether or not she said anything doesn't even matter. She was there. She was cited, and Blake reportedly counted on that. She counted on Taylor being perceived as a silent vote of confidence, an unspoken threat that Justin would be going against Swift, Reynolds, and Lively as a trifecta.
This document subpoena is designed to draw public interest by creating tabloid clickbait instead of focusing on the facts of the case. People have been going back and forth watching old interviews from When It Ends With Us was first doing press and all the times the cast had mentioned Taylor's name.